Hey everybody, I'm Glenn,
And I'm Xander,
and together we are Fun King 3D.
and today we'll be unboxing the Fabrikator Mini 3D printer. So stick with us.
All right, everybody. So I'm gonna let Xander take over, and I'm gonna kind of kick back and ride.
So before we open this printer, I want to give a shout out to Joel Telling, the 3D printing nerd, which did a nice thing for a lot of people, and he sent me a gift. So yeah, I just want to thank him for this.
Yeah, Joel is a pretty amazing individual. I've watched him do things on Twitter and Facebook for people, and just throwing a quick shout out here and there to different YouTubers and stuff just to get some traffic their way, and we were one of them, even without us asking him to do it. Yeah, he helped us get our people count up on YouTube, and last Friday night, a week ago Friday, came into the 3D printing community group in the chat, and of course the chat lights up when Joel shows up, and I have a feeling it's the same way the room is when Joel walks in. But just I don't know, poured a lot of support out towards Xander and the design that he had done, and all of a sudden offered him a 3D printer, and Xander's been a little nutty ever since. He's been watching the mail every day. I wasn't actually expecting this until sometime in the week, and it showed up today when we got back from the beach. We're a little burnt, but so without further ado, you want to cut it? You want me to cut it?
What happens if I cut it?
Now, according to Joel, this has never been out of the box. So we're hoping that everything shipped okay, both wherever it came from to him and then from him to us. All right, I'm gonna go to the sky view. I'll leave us up here in the corner. You see us up here? Hi.
Hi.
So there we go. I've covered enough of that. I'll have to go in and blur that out. I don't want you guys to see that. Go ahead, open her up and take it all out. You can stand up if you need to stand up. I'll kind of get out of your way. This is all you, buddy.
I don't know what this is, but it's cool.
It's either a very, very small amount of filament or maybe some kind of a feeder. No, it's a very, very small piece of whatever it is.
User's guide?
Gotta have a user's guide. What else is in there?
A box.
Not a box. A box inside of a box?
It's a box.
Make sure you talk loud enough. Talking to your mic because you're far away from it now.
It's a box.
I think this actually might be tape for the bed. I don't know. Well, this is cool. It's a 90 degree USB cable. Kind of cool.
What the? Oh, it's like...
That's feet.
Yeah.
Bag of feet.
It's green.
It's green? It's one of the green ones? Oh, sweet. That's so cool. I'm gonna lift it out of there. Very carefully. That is awesome. What an awesome little printer. Now I'd never heard of this printer before all of this took place. I was just checking underneath to make sure there wasn't anything else. This is you gotta pick the foam off. Just be gentle. Probably should have looked in the instructions manual to see if it talked about unpacking it. Yeah, that's what that other blue is. It's additional blue tape for the bed.
That's really small.
It is small. This is really cute.
Like the heat bed. It's like,
I don't know if I would normally use cute as a term for a 3D printer, but this is absolutely baller. I'm gonna move this camera. Hold this. Anybody seasick? I'm gonna move this around right here so that we can get a nice tight shot.
yeah, just look at the heat bed.
Look how awesome that is. And I love the color. I love the green.
Yeah, that
I love the
color.
green acrylic because it glows on the edges. So this is just part of the packaging. It is a Bowden setup, which is our first Bowden printer. I say our. I want to make this clear right now. This is Xander's printer. 100% Xander's. I will share mine with him, but this is Xander's. And being where it came from, it's got a lot of special meaning. So.
I touched it.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to pull that way because I think that has to come up this way. So yeah, we do not have a Bowden printer, so I haven't had any experience with any type. I've heard, pros and cons both ways, but let's spin this around this way.
Did you see what's in the box?
No, you didn't open it.
Oh.
I'm more excited about showing everybody, like, there's the extruder hanging off of the back. It's light, but yet it's not. I mean, it's lightweight, but it's got some good weight to it. Oh, the power supply.
Oh.
Nice. It's a power adapter, which I like for, because it's a little safer that way. What kind of plug is on it? Standard three pin like a computer. So that's fantastic. Yeah, I'm at a little bit of a loss. I'm not even sure what to do next. It looks like an E3D hot end, which I'm sure it's a clone. If we can, I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these before. If you're just tuning in to see what one looks like, but this is cool. So I'm sure it's not an all metal hot end, but it is definitely not a heated bed. It is an acrylic bed, but with that hot end, this little guy should print amazing. So yeah, let's crack into this manual and see. As soon as I put on my Superman glasses. It says here, congratulations on your new Fabrikator.
Ice fat.
I know what you mean. Alright, so first thing it wants you to do is it wants you to hook the Bowden tube.
What?
This is the Bowden tube. So this, instead of like on our printers back here, instead of this block being on the x-axis, your filament goes in here.
And then it goes through the tube all the way to, yeah, okay.
Exactly. The extruder pushes the filament all the way down to the hot end. So, yeah, and it wants you to thread it in right there.
And then
of course, nobody can see what you're doing,
rockets. Tight or?
Yes, well, as tight as you can do it with your fingers. I will, I don't know if we have to. So, all right, so we need to hook up a few things. It says, okay, let's get started. After unboxing the Mini, we need to hook up a few things we disconnected to make sure the printer arrives safe and sound to you. The first thing is the Bowden tube. We now have that Bowden tube hooked up. Exciting, it's pretty. All right. Now it wants us to connect the USB cable and power supply to the printer, but don't plug it into the computer or wall outlet just yet. So you can go ahead and plug that in. It goes in down here. Let me show the Let me show the outside world. Right down here. Power adapter.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay. We're still alive.
Well, it's not plugged into the wall.
Oh. Ah.
All right, and then I want you to put in the USB cord. I think we're going to set up an Octopi, Xander, because this is going to go on his desk with his computer.
Yeah.
And I think an Octopi would be the best way to go to not have to have it
Now,
hooked to the computer.
I see that this one doesn't have like a screen, so you can do the options and stuff. So how would you tune it?
Well, being that it's a pre-built, I'm hoping we don't have to tune it too much, but I know what you're saying. No screen, therefore how do you control it? And I'm sure it's done all through. Oh, B's on the bottom. I didn't even think to look down here to see that. Let's show you guys the main board. And we didn't have to hook any of that up. All of that is already hooked up for us. Can't tell what size the steppers are, but they're definitely smaller than your typical EMA 17s. They're not as big as the extruder motor. USB fits in there nicely. There's a little slot up that back for it. All right, let's go here. So we got both. All right, so next page is telling us to install the software. It uses Repetier. I'd like to not use
What?
Well, that's how you're going to actually control the printer. But I think Octoprint's the way to go. Now, I do see a cable inside of here. It's the motor cable for the Y-axis, but it's kind of laying against the Z-axis threaded rod. Not real excited about that. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that just to make sure that doesn't wear, because it's gonna move when that. Oh no, the bed moves. Bed moves on the X. I can say that, but maybe it's different on this one. Maybe it's actually sideways. No. Nope. The print head moves forward and back for the Y. Your bed moves side to side for the X, instead of the head moving for the X and the bed moving for the Y. So that a while to get used to that. So, as much as I hate to say it, that's the whole setup.
Ow. What about the feet?
Well, the book didn't say anything about the feet. I guess that's what this extra. Let's take a look at the feet.
At the feet.
Suddenly Xander's got a thing for feet.
You're the one who brought up feet in the first place. Ooh.
They're acrylic. I thought these were rubber feet, but they're actually acrylic for this to just set in.
So you have to peel it?
Yeah, but there's a felt. There's a felt pad that goes on there, so you got to peel the paper off the acrylic. The felt. Oh, it's foam. I thought it was felt, but it's foam.
That's nice.
All right, here, peel these two. They are really cool looking, aren't they? At the world of you. An ice cube.
It is an ice cube. Oh.
No?
It's not an ice cube anymore.
Now, when we got back from the beach, this box was sitting on the front porch. And Xander seen it, and he's like, that looks like the right size box. That looks like the right size box. So I made him unload the car first. And then he went out to get it. And I closed the garage door on him. Gonna walk all the way around the house with it. Well, I was nice enough to open the front door and let him in. And then you should have seen the look on his face when I took it away from him and set it on the stairs. I told him that he had to wait until later to unbox it. I wasn't going to let him open it without being on camera. We're YouTubers after all.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Great color. Again, we knew nothing about this printer. I'd never looked into one. I'd never even heard of it. So... Alright, so let's switch over to this guy. So these are just going to go up underneath. Like this.
Does it like set in or?
Yeah, it kind of drops into that little groove. I can't say that the feet are the best design ever. Because if you go to move the printer, the feet are going to fall off. They don't stay on there. But...
Or?
So, but... I can't say those feet are a great design. So, but I bet if we get on Thingiverse,
We can.
I bet somebody's got feet out there. Otherwise, we can design some feet for it. This is awesome. This is awesome. All right, so I think at this point we'll break the video, and we're gonna go ahead and get this set up. Not exactly sure yet. One of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to steal an octo print off of one of these guys, which I'm not really a big fan of doing. We could set this up here for right now and plug it into the octo print until we can build you one.
Okay.
Because this is Xander's desk is actually over there.
Over there.
And I want him to have it on his desk. The plan is for him to be able to really print anytime he wants to.
But I use it. You don't touch it.
You know what this thing didn't come with? Oh, what a fantastic opportunity. What doesn't it have? I mean, besides a screen and a heated bed. It does not have a spool holder. And it just so happens that this past Maker Geeks box, the project, was a spool holder, and we haven't done it yet because I don't really have a need for it because my spools hang above my printers. This bed's too little to print that spool holder, but that's okay. We'll print it on one of these guys, probably the print, and then you'll have a spool holder. Fantastic, fantastic. All right, so we're gonna break here. You guys won't even know it. It's just gonna be like, psh, we're gone, and then we're gonna come back, and we'll say like 5 hours later or whatever. That's a Lego movie reference. And then we're gonna let you know how this little guy does, because we're gonna put some filament down through this. And you know what? Maybe we'll just take a short break, and I will get a cable long enough, reach the octopi, and we'll just have it right here. We'll just do it. Do the Scooby-Doo. I'll be right back. All right, everybody. So welcome back. It's 5 hours later.
Well, it was actually 24 hours later.
Yeah, he's right. It's actually it's the next day from the part that you just watched, and the reason is that we ran into a few issues with the printer, and I have to say I was a little bit discouraged of what was happening. We attempted to lay some filament down, and what it was doing is it was homing everything. The Z would come down at the bed, it would spew a little bit of filament, and then the Z would go up about 20 or 30 millimeters, and then it would quit, and the extruder would begin to cool down. So it was it was making me very angry. So I took a little time and we poked around at it, and we discovered a couple of things. The first issue that I noticed was that the Z-axis, no, the Y-axis was not moving. It was stuck. So on this one, the Y is the extruder. The extruder does not move side to side; it moves forward to back. And it was coming out like maybe 10 millimeters and then stopping. So I ended up disconnecting all the power. Which, just a heads up on this: if you're going to attempt to move any of the motors manually, you have to make sure you unplug the USB and the power, because they both power the board. So you don't want to have any problems. So I disconnected all the power, and I very gently moved that axis forward, and I ran it forward and backwards a couple of times, gently, and then from then on, that was no longer a problem. The heating issue, you cannot preheat this printer. Our ANET and our Prusa, we always preheat before we print, and it saves time because they both come up to temperature at the same time, the bed and the nozzle. When I was preheating this and I would tell it to print, it would actually cool all the way down and then reheat the nozzle to the temperature, which I thought then it was just cooling down, because as soon as it started to cool down, I would cancel the print and I would go and try something different. So I ran into a little bit of an issue there. I even installed and I call it Repetier. I've heard it called Repeater, but the Repetier host, which is what they suggest in the manual. Tried those. That's actually how I determined that the Y-axis was not moving. I was using their manual controls. So, but it didn't make any difference. I didn't fix the whole cooling problem, and then I realized what was going on, that I couldn't preheat it without letting it cool all the way down and back up again. So if you run into that, there it is. And then the third problem. Began to print. It was going through all the motions, and there was no filament coming out. And at that point, we noticed that the extruder motor was turning, but it was turning the wrong way. And it was actually pushing the filament out, like it was pulling it away from the hot end. And so I immediately thought, oh, they wired it wrong. Something's backwards. I was checking settings in Repetier. No. What was the problem?
You're a moron.
I'm an idiot. When we put the Bowden tube in, I threaded it into this side. Which, let me tell you, feeding this way was a lot harder because you had to get it into that little nozzle there. But the Bowden tube goes in on the solid side, which now that I've realized that I made that stupid mistake, it's really obvious to me. So don't do that either. So I didn't have to reverse anything. It wasn't a software setting. It really came down to that I was just so excited to put this thing together that I missed it. My bad. So after all of that was done, well, we got this. Check out this high speed. All right, so as you see it printed, now there was a few issues with that print. Xander's got it here. Let's bring the detail camera over. As you can see, there's a little bit of an overhang issue. We didn't do any supports on this. We just let that thing, we just let it run, and that's a 0.2 millimeter. Actually looks really good. I'm super impressed with what this little guy can do. We haven't tried a 0.1 yet. That's coming next, but there is no part cooling fan. So with no cooling on the part, the overhangs were just drooping, but it's still pretty impressive for what it did. So we're definitely going to look at, you know, some mods to add a cooling fan to that. But other than that, I'm pretty happy. Xander is officially his own 3D printer guy now. Tried to convince him to pick up the name of 3D printer dude, but said. So we will do not necessarily a review, but kind of a progress report update on this in just a little while. We want to put some time behind it. You know, we don't ever like to review it. My initial impressions, I'm pretty pleased with it. I mean, the design of it's really neat.
It's a nice color.
It is, the acrylic is really cool. The feet are terrible. These acrylic feet that it comes with are absolutely terrible. Every time you go to move it, they move, and then you got to realign it. And I've just got it sitting on a mouse pad right now. The amount of filament that it comes with is a joke. Hobby King's video shows the guy has a roll of filament, and he's like, hey, you know, you can use this for test printing and stuff. There is about a meter here, and a third of that's going to go into your Bowden tube, so that's kind of a joke. But you know what? This thing, it's got a special place in Xander's heart because of where it came from. So we're using the ANET's filament holder for right now until we come up with a better solution. He has decided that it's going to live over here with the rest of the 3D printers instead of on his desk, which is just cool because we're going to put an octopi on it.
And my desk is really small, so
it's just not mammoth like mine.
It's really small.
So
I need a new desk.
So that's that. We're going to go ahead and do a couple more test prints. I want to see what this little guy will do at 0.1. And then there's some exciting news coming. We don't want to let that cat out of the bag yet, right? But this little guy, well, this little guy and this little guy are going to be the center of attention very soon, and that's going to be pretty awesome. Other than that, I don't really have anything to tell you guys. As you've seen from the time lapse, it printed. I'm pleased with that. We did have some hiccups, but yeah, and bed leveling. I forgot to touch on bed leveling. I did adjust the bed leveling. There's a screw up underneath over here. Oh, can't see that, up over here underneath, and I just kind of eyeballed it. I didn't even use the paper. We just wanted to get it to print, and the initial layer. Really get a focus on that, but I'm pleased with the way that, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty great. So now we can actually get it fine-tuned in and see what it can do. So that's it for this video. If you like what we're doing, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribing, tell a friend, have them subscribe. You know, even if they don't like 3D printing, we don't care. We just want them to subscribe. We want them to care. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. If you don't like what we're doing, you can give us a thumbs down. That's fine. Leave us a comment either way. We'd like to know that what we're doing is good. If there's stuff that we're doing that you don't like that you want us to change, throw that in there too. We can definitely take it into consideration. That's not going to make it as a outtake reel, but the description has a whole list of places that we can be reached. The easiest place to find us is at funking3d.com, which has a link to all of our social media sites. I think that about covers it. We do have a Patreon. If you want to support us, you can hop over to Patreon and support us. We'd appreciate it. All money that we raise through Patreon will go back into the channel, either for materials, for content, or whatever. It'll all be 3D, well, Funking 3D related. It could be an electronic project related, to be honest with you. So that's all I got. What do you got?
Joel, if you're watching, high five.
Thanks, Joel. I hope you are watching. And as always, from us here at Funking 3D, print on.
Today we'll be unboxing and setting up the fabricating.
That's gonna be a great blooper. Let's do it again. Hey everybody, I'm Glenn.
And I'm Xander.
And together we are Funking 3D. No, I messed that one up. Oh. Hey everybody. Alright, I gotta stop.